right, welcome to the recap of the Badger Kart Club May 19th, race 3 of the Komet Juniors. It looks like I got about to review the final here. Of course, we see the qualifying win as such. Cooper Horn, 39.9, followed by Ryan, Drew, Francisco, Joey, and Tazio. Pretty close in the last 4 positions there. Just a couple tenths off. I think Drew and Francisco were going back and forth there. A 4-lap qualifier, and of course Cooper kind of in a league in his own here this qualifier. And of course, as we swing back over to that is the qualifier, and of course as we swing back over to the pre-final, not a bad race as well. That turned out to be as follows: Cooper fast lap 39.9, followed by Ryan 40.1, Drew 40.5, Francisco 40.7 rather, and then of course 6 by Joey, and then Tazio's right there. So pretty good racing right there in that pre-final. And of course that takes us right to the final here, so let's go ahead and review it, as of course we recorded it on the top of the scoring tower. Let's go ahead and hit the play button here. Okay, so we see Cooper on the pole, followed by Ryan, Francisco behind Ryan, of course Drew on the inside. Of course, as I'm trying to watch the race over the smartphone recording, I end up inadvertently taking my eye off that first sweeper. I think Francisco was on the outer, Drew was on the inner. I think they bumped little side pods, but they filtered out to Cooper, Ryan, Drew, Francisco, Joey, and Tazio. I think I really do need to get a high def video camera. Smartphones are okay, but I think if you want to get the real action here, we're going to have to upgrade our video equipment. Again, 6 karts in the final here today. I'm trying to keep track of Francisco, the grandson, number 5. Of course, Cooper checking out here. Again, not a bad view here on top of the scoring tower here. Of course, you got the sun setting there in the west, and there's a little bit of sun there. But so we made some changes to Francisco's kart, of course, with the help from our local pro shop and hot shoe at the local pro shop, Jamie Siraki and Franklin Motorsports. So thanks to them. Just made some adjustments, and of course talked about the driving and tried to get some of those key corners. Of course, Komet Junior using that HPV Komet motor, dry clutch, and of course trying to keep that momentum up. So at this point, the top 2 are kind of checking out here. The last 4, though, are kind of with it. Now, prior to this, I think this is Francisco's second race this year. Right there, he tries to make a move on that inner hairpin there, and I think he scrubs some speed off a little bit. So I think he's learning how to keep it smooth, even though you have the tendency to come up to these corners and you think you get a run on somebody, you just scrub speed. So you'll see he kind of reeled Drew on the first time there, and then of course scrubbed some speed, let him go, and he'll weed him in again. Of course, now he's getting pressure from Joey there in the back. Again, we see Ryan go by here. That's followed by Drew, Francisco, Joey, and Tazio. So Drew's opening a gap. So at this point, as we talk about with Francisco, really the difference between practicing and racing, of course, is sometimes following the strategy of taking some of the racing lines from the people behind you. The problem is you don't always know if someone's behind you, right? So he's trying to stay super smooth there. I think he drew in there. We're just working on the top of the boot, the hairpin, the top of the boot, and that's the top of the boot, and of course the toe of the boot and heel of the boot. We're just working on those techniques to keep it flowing. Again, Cooper just checking out there. Ryan not really making any progress. As you can see, their gap is about the same throughout the whole race. I think here Cooper pulls out actually a little more. Again, focusing mainly on the 4th place kart here, Francisco Cerros, number 5. Again, we're looking at a 10-lap. I think it was a 10-lap. No, it says 7-lap feature. 7-lap? No, it's 7-lap pre-final. I think it's a 10-lap feature. Yeah, 10-lap feature. Okay, so this is Francisco's move right here. This is where he has to make hay of this move. He's right on Drew. He comes over right there. He gets him right here, I think, and then he backs off, I think. He had a run on him, but he backed off. And I think he scrubbed some speed there again in that sweeper, in that hairpin rather. Pretty good in this boot here. He's trying to get that boot down. He seems like he can close up, he said, a little bit on the boot. But other change, too, as far as the mechanic goes, I think we were playing with some gearing, and we backed down a little gearing. I think we're trying to run a little faster, but as you know, as you gear down, you may get a faster card, but you lose it in the infield, and I don't think we're quite have our exhaust system figured out yet with regards to flex length to help the overall. I think the techniques are typically to increase your gear, but you lengthen your header. And now see Joey gets a run on him right there. So he lets Joey go, obviously, because he didn't want to hack Joey on that pass. So he didn't, he gives it up. Because we teach him to be. He comes right on the inside right there. See, that's where he gets him right there. And he's on the outside of that boot, so he finally had to give way to Joey. So good racing to Francisco for driving clean and not touching wheels with anybody. At this point, I think he had said to me that he feels like he's, there goes Cooper, Ryan, Drew, Joey, Francisco, and Tazio. But after the event here, he said after Joey got by him, he kind of felt a little defeated, and I reassured him to just hang in there. But I think he's realizing, and as you can see through the video, and of course these videos are primarily meant for the driver himself, Francisco, but I'm sure other folks will be watching this through the public forum. You got to keep that speed and that smooth driving, right? Smooth is fast, and you try to scrub speed, or you think you're going to get somebody in a turn, unless you're right on their bumper. It's very difficult. So passing zones are typically going to be in the sweeper, maybe in turn one if you're close enough, and maybe back in no man's land. But unless they make a mistake on the infield, there's really no place to pass. So at this point, we see the flagman reaching for the white flag there. But just a great drive by Cooper. I know he's been on the coattails of some wins, and I think he's done pretty well over the last year. Of course, we're new to the sport with regard to the grandson. Raced a couple times last year and had some mishaps. I think this last weekend, race 2, and this is race 3 you're seeing here, really was the second race he's actually finished, made it to the feature and finished. So we think he's doing pretty well for being a rookie karter. But there's some things you just have to learn, and you can only learn in race format. You can practice to death, but until you get on race day, you just don't know these things. So he's learned some things with regards to staying in that line and working some of these techniques that were talked about at our local kart shop this last weekend. So thanks to Franklin Go-Kart for their input. And so at this point, I think he's just kind of tooling around. I think he stopped pressing. Okay, so that's the finish there. And, of course, the finishing order went like this. Cooper, 40.0. Ryan did a 40.1. Drew did a 40.6. Joey did a 40.5. Francisco, 40.4. Tazio, 40.6. So, pretty clean racing overall. I think all the guys were doing a good job. So, congratulations to, again, the Horn family and Cooper. Excellent job for their efforts. And, of course, I think our next race will be at, I think, Blackhawk Farms, I think, in a few weeks on June 2nd. So we look forward to that. So thanks again to Badger Kart Club and all the folks that we've talked to in the past to help us help our effort at the track. So again, Grandpa Todd here saying good evening, and until next time, everybody, take care, and thanks for listening. Bye.